like when we do it on a Friday or a Saturday,
Everybody's
it works
there.
out good.
It's just hard because every time I've tried to do it on Friday, Saturday, Ben can't make it, Farrell can't make it. They go out. I'm like, all right, bro, can we just put together a side? And then it's like, no, they
And
busy.
now I'm back to working on Saturdays too.
I know that can be
But
hard.
but you know, we don't ever do it at that time anyway. I get off at like 7 on Saturdays, and then we start like 8.
Well, let's see what these topics are first. I started the podcast, but I'm about to. I got to read the topics again. I forgot it. Oh, I posted in the chat earlier, didn't I?
Where's Reset?
I don't know. I don't think he'll make it because I think he would have said something. But
This is going to go in the trash.
I'm just gonna go
Put
to
all your
the
trash
podcast.
in the trash.
Go to alert. Change the podcast. Podcast is up. Tune in. Topics. I'm gonna jump around topics, y'all. Y'all know how to do. I never can stay on. Somebody made this cheap Kobe Bryant thing for me, but I was appreciative of it. But hold on, I'm about to start it in like 2 minutes. If I use the restroom, hold on.
Herb, I'm about to buy it right now, man. that's my game, man. That's my era.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have my wife out here playing watch.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Galaga.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna get that one too.
Yes, sir. They had that Namco. They had a bunch of Namco stuff, and I was gonna get us a lot of that stuff, man. But I got this, and then I really forgot about it.
Oh, so let me search Namco also then.
Alright, D-Mac trying to show off. See he wants attention. I was gonna start off with the Kobe thing, but I know Ben will want to speak on that, so I don't want to do that. Well, welcome to Crew32 Podcast. GY and Herb right now. Ben's supposed to be joining us in Pharaoh when he decides that he's finished making his pork chops. Then he'll join us. I do want to start off by congratulating D, who won the Super Bowl. He actually ran through the NFC and won the Super Bowl. I think he was the least expected to win the Super Bowl. Nobody, I think, leading up to it ever would have thought D would win a Crew Super Bowl, but he did it. He does have the Rams, who happens to have a decent team. I'm not sure that I see him too much in the trade market or free agency market, but he won, that. And so talking about D, when winning the Super Bowl, part of coming Super Bowl is the rebuilding part after. Once the contracts and once you level up all these players off of the XP, sometimes the users tend to fall off. A prime example is Reese. Reese went to the Super Bowl.
Whoa! Shots fired early.
Well, no, he went. He went to the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl, and then it's like after that he just stepped like he. Reese is.
That's because he wasn't supposed to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, that may be the
I
fact.
said it.
I
said it, Reese.
But I've never heard it. I've never seen it that bad.
This is Herb talking.
I've never seen it that bad. It just seems like Reese. He won the Super Bowl and then it's 3 wins, 4 wins a season. This season he started off 3-0 or whatever. But saying that, GY, you've been in the league for a while. Every Super Bowl winner that has won in Crew, were they an elite user? Or if you remember a Super Bowl winner who wasn't?
No, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but a lot.
Would you consider Phil elite
Super
at this
Bowl
point?
Is Phil elite?
Yeah, because he won a bowl.
You know what? I don't even know because Phil Phil has like spurts. Phil comes out and he'll stomp the whole league. And then it's like he'll take a step back. I don't know if he steps away from the game. But he'll still make playoffs. But he'll go like 10-6 or whatever. I don't know. I really can't. I think Phil is nice. But I don't know if I would consider him elite.
So, I mean, would you say that he has, like... Because my thing, when I look at Phil... I see Dez as the best version of them three. They all play just alike. It's Dez, JD, and then Phil. But for some reasons, Phil gets the best of JD or vice versa. But they play exactly alike. Like, they run the exact same plays. But I don't know if we overuse the word elite in Crew, because Ben's explanation is that every Super Bowl winner is elite. But I'm not so sure about that, because for me, not disrespecting D, but I feel like D was the user who won the Super Bowl, but I feel like at the same time, he's the type of user to come right back and put up like an 8-8 season.
Well, you know what? You have a great point, but you know what? I guess if they are going to the Super Bowl and winning Super Bowls, they would have to be considered elite.
Well, one season make them elite, though. One great season makes them elite if they... Because my thing
is D has put up good seasons.
Yeah, D has put up good seasons, but I'm not sure whether or not I would consider him top 5 in the league because he won the Super Bowl.
But you know what? It all comes down to number one, your team. It comes down to scheduling.
And I would say D had a good team. I think the only person he had to beat was Jay, who definitely isn't the same Jay that we was facing 3 years ago. Because remember, at one point Jay was like a killer. Now it's like he's just a regular user. I would say now. But he has Jalen Ramsey. He has Aaron Donald, Josh Johnson. He got Todd Gurley. He got all the weapons.
What? It comes down to also, let's say for instance, me and D is in the same division, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a top 3 user. Mm-hmm. And my life schedule is not working out right now with Madden, so I'm giving out the force. And we're now, let's say I gave out 2 forces to D, and that's division loss. So it all comes down to schedule, what people are going through at the time. And I'm not taking that away from D. I'm not taking that away from D at all. But whoever wins the Super Bowl, if you notice, is never a consistent, constant Super Bowl winner year after year.
That's true.
So all these things play a factor into it, and we never know who is going to be the Super Bowl winner.
Do you think if Ben didn't step down last season, he would have won? Because Ike went to the Super Bowl. I thought Dez would go last year. In fact, I didn't think that Ike. I thought Ike would be. I didn't think Ike would be good enough to win the Super Bowl. I mean, to even get in the Super Bowl. But he got there. Mm-hmm. He lost, and now he's coming back this season, and he takes a couple forced losses because he's out of town.
Right, and see, that's what I'm talking about, things like that.
But after a while, you got to expect Joker to make noise, too, because he's
now, like I thought Joker would go deep in the playoffs than he did.
Well, I was kind of shocked that Joker even lost to Ike, because the Joker I'm usually seeing is the Joker that competes with beats him and Ben going at it. Like he usually don't even give Ike a chance, at least from what I've seen. But I've also seen a new Ike. Like Ike has been very like.
Let me tell you something. People talk about they don't be playing this game. They be playing this game.
When I think
people
Joker
start talking trash and saying you garbage or you fell off. People start playing
and the moment I told Ike that, the moment Ike turned his card on, his light on, and Ike been winning ever since.
You know, even down to myself. I got tired of hearing you not making playoffs. You fell off.
Yeah.
After I heard that, I had the Broncos. I went on a 5-game winning streak.
Talking about you though, I do want to let you know that Dez and I tagged you the other day. I don't know if you got it, but Dez and Dez. So they did a Crew versus Blitz thing in Mutt, right? So Dez, Pharaoh, JD, and Phil decided to sit in the party, and you actually came up in their topic, and they were. Dez said in the ever since he's walked in Madden, he said you give the most excuses out of any user he's ever seen, because he feels like you don't want to admit you suck. He feels like you are starting to run out of excuses. Now, I told him, I was like, at the same time, y'all have to realize GY, and I tell Herb this all the time, but y'all starting to adjust. I think that y'all play real life game style. I believe that if we had to all coach a real life team, y'all will probably have the most success, because y'all play a run, then pass type. Whereas if I feel like we play because it's Madden, let's throw it to the wide receivers type football.
Yeah, that's true. But getting back to the statement Dez made, first of all, I don't play Dez that often. But Dez walking around acting like it wasn't good games. He has never blown me out. So he needs to stop talking about I make excuses. First of all, when the last time I made an excuse? When the last time somebody heard me make an excuse? Nobody has heard me make an excuse since like Madden 15, but yet they run with the same topics. The other day, Farrell brought up in the chat, remember when you used to blame injuries? That was like Madden 13. If you guys don't have nothing else to talk about, why make me the topic of discussion? You need to ride your way while you win. If you were so great, you would have went to the Super Bowl, Des. I tell you that all the time. You mad because I'm straightforward with you. You're not as good as you think you are. Point blank, period.
Well, you know, and that's that. But so somebody DM'd me today, and they said, yesterday when I was making the topics or whatever, because I had put in the chat, hey, if you feel any topics, and I'll tell y'all off scene, but somebody asked to stay anonymous, and I'll tell you, of course, when I'm sure that person won't mind telling you, but they asked, why did Ben not suspend JD for the cheating thing that he did? Now, were you around, GY?
No. That's a good fool.
Were you around, GY?
Oh, that's rude. That was rude. No, I didn't know JD didn't cheat.
JD switched the positions of his players, basically to do upgrades, from my understanding. So Ben did not suspend him. Ben just put Baker Mayfield down from superstar or something like that. Now, usually Ben suspends when stuff like that. He didn't do it with JD. Now, the second part to that question was, did it motivate Reese? But do you think JD... Now, I was asked how I felt about it. I feel like JD did it just to test Ben, because JD knows better. I think JD definitely knows better. But I also think it was something that he tried, or probably something that he said that I can't think of his exact excuse, but he said, I did it to try to, I can't think about it. I think he said something like, I did it to try to get something up, or get his something up, because he changed him to running back, trucking or something. It was something simple, no, and then he changed his number too. So I think it was something about he switched the positions by mistake. He didn't know about it, but all of a sudden everything went up on him. So
that's two different screens though.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but I'm saying there's no way that you can change. Even if that was, how many times have we seen people suspended for that? But JD gets a slap on the wrist. Now, it really doesn't matter, because JD started off like 0-2, 0-3. Anyway, but it's just the fact that with the integrity of the league, he lost to Farrell today, 38-31. So essentially, he was down. He's down 0-3. I mean, they probably would have been suspended 2 or 3 games. But do you think Crew should hold some type of? Is there something that Ben? What would you have done in Ben position? If that would have happened with a user like JD, who usually never violates, but that one-time thing.
You know what? I probably would have given him a warning if I was in that position, but even though everybody knows better, but you know what? It depends on if it was like a situation that was constantly happening, and I had just reiterated, don't move position players. You know, everyone knows that. But it really didn't come up in the last couple of seasons, or I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons ago it came up.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have suspended him.
Okay. So, talking about that, the whole entire offseason, JD and Reese has been going at it. So, we had a little battle of who's the better user. I think JD won. We put it in the chat, JD won. So, Reese actually has started out 2-1. He beat Ben yesterday. Not sure exactly what happened. I've never seen Ben get 55 points put up on him. But he lost. He took a beating yesterday. So 45 points. So he beat D-Mac 42-17. He lost to the Texans 41-38. Then he turned around and beat Ben 45-28. Now he plays Joker next. Then he plays me. Then he plays Be Legit. Then he plays Tad. Then he goes in bye week, and then he comes back and plays JD. So I think part of the thing is whether or not Reese can be real or not. He did draft a rookie quarterback who wasn't Samuel, who's doing well. He's passing the ball more than I've ever seen him. But he's put up 2 missing playoff seasons. After winning the Super Bowl, he hasn't been back to the playoffs. He's in a tough division with Ben and JD. And there's another third person in the, I can't think of it.
Well, I'm going to say this to Reese. I think Ben is the best in that division. You should have won while he was out.
Well, I think even with Ben being out last year, I think Reese still finished like in 4th place. Like he really, and I don't know whether or not, I'm not putting that out there, don't say I said it, but I don't know whether or not Reese was tanking. But I've never seen Reese go 3-13 and just lose games and just be okay with it.
Do I play that bum this season? I'm not talking about Reese, I'm talking about Dennis.
Wow. Wait, man. What happened?
Yeah, I didn't
He gonna act like he
stutter.
don't know. He gonna act like
I ain't stutter.
No, you
This
played
dude
well.
he always have my name in his mouth, but every time we play, ask him when has he blown me out? Ask him, when have I made an excuse? You win. That was so Madden 15, like I said. We in Madden 20.
Listen,
What, bum?
all I want to know is, who is you talking about?
I'm talking about Dez.
Oh, so we talking about the same guy.
D-E-Z.
Okay. So Dez, no more, ain't no sugar, he came direct. Listen.
I always come direct, and Dez know that. For Dez to get in the party chat, and I'm not in the party chat, have something to say about me, you get no respect from me, bum. You so nice, why you ain't win the Super Bowl? And Farrell, stop gassing me because I get gas real easy.
Listen, I'm keeping it 150.
But I don't know where Ben is. I hope the
But
podcast.
G.Y. said straight like this. You got the loaded Brown, you got Miles Garrett in the whole 9, and you still losing.
Exactly.
G.Y. said,
And he got glitchy plays.
So G.Y., did I sum it up, or you got more? Preach.
Now that sums it up.
So
Let me go check my schedule, see if I play that ball.
you don't. I just checked. You don't. But I wanted to move on to the next topic.
I'm sorry, y'all. That was the bipolar in me kicking in.
All I'm saying, listen, I don't know if that's bipolar, but he just spit you with a hot 9.
So I wanted to move on to the next topic, and that was what happened? Oh, that was about 2 new users. One new user who's been lighting up the chat, Vikings user. He has been all in the chat. He's winning right now. He was talking about how he's gonna run the NFC.
But didn't JD, I believe, said he don't see him winning in Crew or going far in Crew. Someone said that. It may not have been JD. Someone said.
Now I know that Packers user had told Viking. I know they've been going at it. He beat Mark T 15-9. Who, by the way, I'm kind of mixed on whether or not Mark T is a good user or not. Is he good?
Wait a minute, hold on. Before y'all talk about my boy Mark T, now he had to defend himself, so I'm speaking on his name real quick.
Did you defend me yesterday? Did you defend me yesterday? And we've been down since like Madden 05. Did you defend me yesterday?
What's up, Ike?
It's different. Green
I
Bay.
got Ike on vacation.
So, if I'm not mistaken, G-Wall, Mark T told Reese, you haven't beat me even in OG.
Yeah.
So G-Wall, that's your league. Is it true? Reese lost the Mark T and then left the league.
By 30
I just need to know. I just need to know for confirmation.
Listen.
G-Wall, I thought you was all about that.
Listen. When we do the last word.
Listen, I'm all about facts. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, G, all I need is a simple yes or no. Did Reese leave after Mark T?
I'm gonna put it like this. It's a couple of users that's not in OG anymore.
Okay.
They are in Crew.
Okay.
Came in talking trash to Mark T.
Okay. It was okay. There we go.
And he put up 50 on a couple of them.
So no,
I'll
G-Rod,
admit to you. I came in.
Mark T said he beat him 3 times in a row.
I came in attacking Mark T. Mark T wiped me off the map in Crew OG.
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's one user.
He. Now I didn't think Reese got wiped by Mark T because I know they was having back and forth talk between them two, but him and Reese has been going at it ever since the Packers playoff berth because they just been going at it ever since. But I think as far Ike said, GY, you talking about Reese? But I think
no, I'm not.
Don't y'all try to get GY in trouble. But I think honestly speaking, Mark T is a better user than what we give him credit for. I really
don't
think
care about being a better user.
Mark T is the type of user that when you sleep on him, he will expose you. He don't come in the chat and talk much. I'm surprised he's arguing back and forth with the Vikings.
Yeah. I was shocked. But you know why? You know why? Because they bet on a game. They actually Mark T wanted to bet him $500 in a head-to-head, but I think they bet like $50. And Mark T lost. But I told Mark T,
why y'all shying away from the conversation at hand?
Listen, I think Reese.
Did Reese lose to Mark T and leave? Yes or no? I just want to know.
I know he lost to Mark T, but I don't know if that's the reason he left.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, don't put GY on him because then he gonna be in the chat arguing next. So I think that. So back to the Vikings. So we all can agree that Mark T is a top 20 user in Crew, maybe.
I guess so.
Okay. So basically, Vikings beat the Packers user, which is Mark T. Then he turned around and beat J. Cole, the Bears user. He only lost to D by 4 points, and I'm gonna look at the stat line. He only lost to D by 4 points, and D threw 4 interceptions. He using a quarterback, Tyree Jackson, whatever. So he plays. So Vikings plays E next, then he goes and plays Chris, then he plays Beaches, then he plays D-Mac, then he plays Spidey.
Wait, I have one question.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit different from what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But what's going on with Chris? Chris put up 70-some points.
Chris,
50 points.
You know what's taking Chris?
You hold on. Take that away because Chris B-Leg don't even know he got a circle button. Right? So Chris
B-Leg 73-7. He lost to Irv 24-7. And then he beat D-Mac 45-14.
But then
he plays Ron next. Then he plays the Vikings user. Then he plays Farrell. Then he plays me. Then he plays Dez. Then he plays Phil. That could very well be the longest losing streak. But I mean, he's feeling right now.
When he played the Rams,
yeah,
he went off with Deion Kane. Deion Kane had like 160 yards, 2 touchdowns.
But Chris is, and I say this. I mean,
no, not Chris. I'm talking about the Vikings.
Okay, Vikings. See, I didn't watch the game. So wait a minute. Let me go back to the stat line. See, because I didn't watch the game. Half of them don't be streaming sometimes. Okay, so basically, he's using Gurley, as it looked like, to do what he got to do. But I think the Vikings user is a good user. I think that he probably is gonna. I'm waiting for his first big loss, which I think will probably come against a user like Phil, maybe week 10, or Dez week 12.
I'm here to stop everything. Stop it. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. I played him last season.
Vikings?
He beat me by 4 or something like that.
Okay.
Talk about it.
But he's nothing impressive.
How's his offense though? Is he like special offense or he just run?
No. He's basic. He doesn't do nothing fancy. But what got me was Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook couldn't tackle that dude. He would break tackle and be gone.
Now,
but he's not fancy. I don't see him, honestly. I believe he's a 9-7 user.
Wow.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, so 9
but y'all know I'm calling how I see it.
9-7.
Wait, I do gotta ask you something.
Yeah.
Ben tagged me and told me to bring up this topic. So Ben said, and I quote, Farrell was messy. Why did he have to put Reese's career record out there at 11-21?
May I ask that? So
wait, is that real? Is that real?
So let's go to career records. I forgot how to get to it, but okay. So
I didn't post it to be messy.
I'm gonna go to this record. Give me a second, y'all. I got to.
How do you see that?
So you go to setting, you go to stats, and you go to coach stats, and you go to. So AFC. What is my career record? Wow, I'm 18-16. That's great.
18-16, guys.
That's crazy. So, what is his name?
Okay.
What team is Reese again? My mind is clearing. Okay.
Jaguars.
So he is right now. He's 13-22. Yikes. That's in three seasons. Which means it would take him and. JD's 25-10. Ben is 26-9. That's not included, and most of the losses come during the forced storm when he went away. And then Dr. Day, who's a Texans user, is 22-13. So that's why I say when we talk about elite, I'm not sure if, though Reese won a Super Bowl, I'm not sure if you can easily put him up there, because when I think of elite users don't go from Super Bowl to what he went through. And that's my fear for D, because I feel like once people win a Super Bowl, they feel like, oh, I did my job, I'm good.
No, these things can't be right, because they got Dez being 28-3. You telling me Dez only lost 3 times?
Wait a minute, hold on.
3 seasons?
Huh. Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on.
And why that picture Dez got up really look like Dez, though?
I don't know. Wait a minute, that might be right, though. That might be right.
How? Dez lost more than 3 times in 3 seasons.
Really?
No, he didn't.
I don't think he did. Because Dez was clearing the whole AFC.
Remember, Dez got that week.
So let me take away his. So basically, he got 1 loss this year. Yeah, remember he was like clearing the AFC though.
Was he? Did one year he go undefeated?
Dez went 14-2 last year.
And what about the year before that? This was 3 seasons.
So that meant he would go undefeated.
Dez came in last season?
Wait a minute, hold on, let's do it. So wait a minute, hold on. So that's 28 and wait a minute, hold on, let me go back to this thing. Cause I don't think he started the first season. I thought he came in. Yeah. So that's 31 games in 3 seasons. So if you take away the 3, that's 28 games. So that's 2 full seasons. Are this including playoffs? It may be including playoffs.
Oh, I don't know. It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, because he got 2 playoff wins, 2 playoff losses. Oh, you might be right, man. You might be right, GY. But I don't know why his is off then. Because Dez came in... Okay, Dez came in season 1 and went undefeated, Phil said. You know what? I don't think he started week 1, GY. I believe
the first season he didn't start week 1. I think
he came in and went undefeated. So his record stands true. Now Chris is 10-12, but he has a better standing record than Reese do.
So let me ask you this. So are you saying that Chris is a better user than Reese. If you had to pick a team, if you had to pick a person to play alongside you in the tournament, would it be Reese or Chris?
I don't know why you put me in this type of
Give me 2 controls. I'm playing by myself.
But I would say this just out of respect to both users, because I don't want people tag me in chat.
No. We don't fight on talk. Because I ain't gonna lie, if I had a chance to pick two users from Crew, if I had a chance to pick 2 users from Crew to play alongside me in a tournament, by all means I'm picking Dez and Ben. And I can't stand Dez.
Here's my downfall. About Dez. I would pick Ben and Pharaoh. Because my downfall about Dez is I think Dez, once he's off, he's off. I would pick Ben and Pharaoh if I had to choose too. But between Chris and Reese,
I gotta let you know, Ben ain't better than him. Period.
I didn't say he was. But I'm not picking no one. I'm not picking no bum
that hides away when I'm here in the AFC.
I'm not picking nobody who didn't defend me yesterday.
D.Y., listen. Ironically, you gotta realize this. Ben magically ran away when I was in the AFC. Notice that, right? And remember, my Super Bowl
That is kind of true. That is kind of true.
My Super Bowl year last year, guess what happened? Ben was like, I got school. So the 2 times I'm magically on the road, Ben magically gotta pop up.
You're right. Ben been in 12th grade like 6 years.
Yeah, he's been.
Telling you, Ben is scared of me.
Seems like he.
Period.
Well, Ben better come back because he lost to Reese yesterday.
Now, another thing I gotta let y'all know is, whenever me and Ben about being in the same division, or I want the division to be equal, so I'm gonna take a weaker team. You notice that, right? I gotta catch up.
That's true. He do that.
You know what, Farrah? You have been on the tail lately, Farrah.
That's all I'm saying. I gotta catch up, man. I gotta catch up.
But I would say that. I don't know. We gotta figure out about Ben versus Pharaoh. Maybe that'll be a topic. But I think that as far as elite users, I'm not saying that only because he on the string, because I don't want to pump up his head like I pump up Ben's head.
No, but
Phil came a long way because last year.
Elite users in Crew.
Okay, 5. Okay, off top of my brain, it would have to be Ben. Dez, Pharaoh. It has to. Now I'm not. It has to. It probably has to be Phil though. In JD, it has to only because they win consistently.
Phil?
Well, he wins. I'm not saying that he's great, but he wins consistently.
I would put Ike before I put Phil in there.
See, my issue with Ike is Ike just starting really. Ike just starting.
No, that's not true.
No, but if you take all leagues. I used to crush Phil. I don't know about what's going on recently, but
I think that. That's what I'm talking about. I think they get the best of Phil, but I think if we talking elite, I think that Phil consistently wins enough to be in the elite category. Now, as far as clutch, I don't know, because I don't think Phil may ever see a Super Bowl again because of users like Dez and JD who get the best of him. But I don't know at the same time, because Phil wasn't good. I mean, the Steelers are a good team, I guess, defensively. But I'm not really sure about that. So I would say that Phil. So who's your top 5? So it would be Dez, Ben, Pharaoh, Phil, and Ike, or would it be Phil and JD? Or would it be JD and Ike?
My 5 would be Ben Pharaoh, Dez, Joker, and
okay.
And I probably put Phil and Ike together. I don't really know how.
I can't choose between. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. Play. Well, JD, the only reason I give JD a plus, I will say, and this is my downfall about Reese. I'm sorry,
JD,
but I don't think Reese can hang with Ben and JD, like, and even the Texans use it, because when we seen the Brandon Day dude, when we seen
Urban, my top 5, call up Urban.
What we've seen is we've seen basically Reese been losing to everybody in the division. I mean, he's just starting to win. Now, maybe if he turn around this season and go to Super Bowl, I might be like, all right, look, I was wrong. But I'm not sure Reese even, because once I think JD's going to turn it around. He lost the Beaches, okay, but he's played Dez, and then he played Farrah. So I mean, he's 0-3, lost the Beaches. I guess he'll look back at that loss and say, wow.
Yo.
Turn injuries off on Crew in advance.
All games are played?
Yeah, it's 2 forces. It's actually the last 3 forces.
So I would say that's the case for them. So as far as divisions go, that division is going to be most interesting. But I'm looking to see. I want to see Phil overcome Dez in the AFC North. I want to see Chris give Dez a run for his money, and I just am not sure whether or not that can happen. But I'm sick of Dez running divisions and running divisions.
You know what? Everybody's sick of Dez, and that's what motivates Dez. Dez feeds off everybody talking about him, and I'm probably his biggest hater. But when it comes to this game, you got to give Dez his respect.
Honestly, I see exactly what you're saying.
Chris said before you, but then let y'all speak. Chris said I beat Dez and Joker last season.
Oh, talk about it. Okay, let's get it.
He said this season he's coming. So go ahead, Farrah.
I'm gonna leave my comment out.
No.
I'm gonna keep that one.
Yeah, I think Pat. Oh, I'm not sure because Ike was ready to play yesterday, right?
Yeah, that's why I said.
Oh, let me. Yikes. Yeah, because I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I thought he said so, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, I would say that I'm waiting to see what Phil and I want to see Dez finally have to go through the wild card. I'm tired of him getting first round buys and then losing. So maybe if he starts from wild card, he'll make the Super Bowl. But
I want this to be known. Ben is scared of me.
Oh God.
Where did that come from?
We're gonna start a war.
I just want it to be known. I'm tired of people calling Benny Lee, and Ben is yet to jump in the division with me. That's what I'm saying.
Ben has a third place schedule, by the way.
I know. I know.
Yeah, he has a third place schedule. So I play Patriots next week. By the way, he's 2-0, going about to be 3-0. Hopefully, I guess. But he hasn't played nobody, and so I hope that I can beat him. He's one of the new users that we're looking at. I know Jets. Joker is going to be Joker. Ike is going to drop to at least 1-2, 1-3, maybe 1-4, depending on when he gets back. AFC West, yeah. Mo, talking about Mo did step down. For those who didn't know, he stepped down.
He ain't stepped down.
You ain't make Mo leave.
I made Mo leave. I did something you couldn't do because you couldn't beat him. I made him leave.
Wow.
Oh, ask Mo. It was in the chat what I did to Mo the last 2 times I played him.
Okay.
Ask him. He gave me props and all. I blew him out.
Well, that's wild. NFC North.
Don't wow Mr. Just lob it up to a 5'9" receiver and catch it in double coverage.
Y'all know how I play by now. My thing is, if y'all can't stop, y'all already know how. But I will say, GY,
sound working. You ain't changing.
You was backing up your cornerbacks, man, and they were still getting deep. I said, boy, I know GY is raging right now.
Did y'all discuss how I beat JD in the computer game?
We not talking about you.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
gonna get to that. Let me for the NFC North, it's between the Vikings and the Packers right now. I think the Bears can make a run. J. Cole's a good user. As far as the Lions, Lions is Ron.
Wait, what about that pick? That Patson?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Pats because me and him probably game of the week this week. So Lions is he's actually that's Ron, so he has a lot of making to do too. I have not seen him be the same anyway. NFC South is GY, Panthers, and then the Saints is J-Rav. The Falcons is
you see who winning that division? Who's leading that division, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no more.
I'm blind, GY. I got Ray Charles. Who winning?
I'm already leading. Who you think going to win? Who won it last year?
I got
May
Ray
I ask,
Charles.
what's going on with Yuri? Because he seemed like he's running the ball just as good, but he's 0-3, and then the Bucks are 0-2, which I know is CPU right now, and I feel so bad for GY. It has to be bad to see your team just be left.
Man, I was so pissed off. He traded away all the pieces to the team, and then just stopped playing.
Yeah.
I'll jump in there. I like the Bucks.
I called this and I said it. I said that Jay will return for one more season, and I said Jay will give his best season yet. So he's 3-0 right now. The Giants are 2-0.
No, Jay.
We're not skipping Jay. We're not skipping Jay.
I'm gonna tell you why Jay on the docket. Jay jumps in the chat one day. I'm not sure what that is. He goes, "I have no team." And then let's go back forward. He plays Phil.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. Let me. Did you figure out what's going on with Ike? No, you didn't figure out yet. Y'all already advanced, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jay, I don't know if Jay beat Phil or Phil beat Jay. Phil goes and tells Jay, "I hate when people do the nano or the blitzes." Jay goes, "Oh, I'm just playing the game, bro. Like I've always done that."
So Phil told.
He just put in the chat that I hate when I play people with the stupid blitzes.
Oh wow! Wait a minute, is Man Bree's cousin, by the way?
No, that's a different one.
Okay, never mind.
That's a different one.
Man, I thought it was Reed's cousin. Never mind. Go ahead.
So then I played Jay. I beat him. Jay goes, "Oh, I didn't think he was gonna play like that." So Ben responds and goes, "Jay, everybody's been complaining about you not being a regular player. What's different now?" He goes, "Ben, stop." So then now Jay's on his assumption that his team is bad. Jay don't get no.
His team ain't bad. Let me tell you about Jay. Jay played me and lost and started crying, talking about the game is this and the game is that. Step your game up. You ain't been right since that cornerback blitz stopped working. Play the game.
So,
don't let the game play you.
How has Jay played now? Because I mean he's doing good now. So I think Jay. I just need Jay to put up one good season before he leaves. One great season.
No, Jay is a good opponent. But all y'all be saying these players are so good, these users are so good, this and that. What I don't understand, why they cry so much when they lose? If I'm such a bum, blow me out.
I'll say this, and I'll step out on a ledge, and I've kept it real with everybody because y'all know I'm gonna say how I feel when I feel whenever. But I was watching Ben and Dez game one day, and I remember saying good game. But then I remember Dez making a comment like, they always giving this or they always giving that. And I'm like, man, y'all, if I was always in the playoffs and AFC Championship every year, stuff like that, I believe that when you're a great user, that sometimes when you make those little comments, it makes you a sore loser. Whereas if not putting us in a certain position or category, but when me and GY or somebody like us lose and we make excuses, it's different. But I think for somebody who consistently wins as much as they do, that when they make excuses like that, it makes it look like you're a sore loser and that you're, it just don't come across well.
I agree. Because they look down on certain users so much. We're not supposed to win. We're not supposed to get better. We're not supposed to adjust. Just like you guys adjust during the course of the season, we adjust. Just like you guys go on YouTube, we play people who go on YouTube. When we play you guys, we are seeing those plays in every other league. So it's not going to work all the time.
Well, I mean,
right,
that's the
right,
thing.
Let me explain. Let me just put two and two together.
Yes.
You just said Yuri and Dez YouTube. You just put two and two together. That's what I got from that.
Well, Yuri issue
we see them in leagues, they go on YouTube, and we play that all the time. So you're telling me every time you play Dez and Yuri, they YouTube. That's what I want to know. Yes or no?
No. Speaking seriously, I like playing Dez. I talk a lot of junk about Dez, but I really like playing Dez. I think he's a quality opponent.
When I play Dez or somebody like Joker, I bring out my best game. I will say that. When I play better users, I bring out my best game for some reason. But I just would hope that down the road, users like that don't say things like that because it does make you look like a sore loser. And then when you win, you want all the glory. But when you lose, now I blame Madden, I blame whatever I want. But I do want to. We about to end soon. I was waiting for Ben, but I wanted to ask a question. GY, you've been an NFL fan for a while. Not pointing out your age, but you've been a fan for a while. Is Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback you've ever seen? I mean, I'm sorry, wrong question. Is he the most? How can I say it? Yeah, the best player you've ever seen so far at this step of his career.
At this point in his career?
You've seen the throws, you've seen the elusiveness, you've seen his arm is ridiculous. Yes, he has weapons, but did he make the weapons or were these weapons already?
Actually, I think the weapons are making him. I think he was good, but I think they're making him better. Because if you remember when Alex Smith was on that team, Alex Smith broke a lot of passing records also. He just couldn't throw the ball far down the field. So it was a lot of.
Do you think part of it is so? Pharaoh, could you see Pharaoh Herb talking to you?
What's up, Herb? Yo, I'll say that. You ready?
Yeah, go.
So my question is whether or not do you think that Jamari made a good point. He said that in Seattle and Kansas City, Russell could be Mahomes, but in Seattle, Mahomes couldn't be Russell. So do you think that it is a certain type of
I agree.
system that he adapts to, or like how does that go? Because
I agree. When you have first of all, when you have a tight end like Kelsey, who's essentially a wide receiver, a big wide receiver that nobody can guard.
No matter who, yeah.
And then you got that Tyreek Hill going over the top, and now you got Hardman. And you see it's so bad. Kareem Hunt left. He got released. And now this dude, what's this guy? Damian Williams is killing. It's the whole team. The team was well built. You can put Farrell in as quarterback. It'd be good.
Not even to mention, they got an offensive guru at the coach talking about all
yeah. And Andy Reid definitely on offense. He's a genius. And I'm hoping. I think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, but I'm hoping Andy Reid get his first Super Bowl. Not his first or whatever.
But I'm asking, and this is what I mean. This is what I meant to say. So this is how I look at it. I believe that. So Jimmy G already got paid. So if he loses this, the chances of usually going back to the Super Bowl never end well with certain teams unless you're the Patriots. But if he loses this, then we look at it like what? Jimmy G's who we think he is, or depending on how the game turns out. But
no, because it could be a poorly coached game. It could be, you know what? They could have planned for one thing and the Chiefs come out of something else. I actually think Jimmy G is playing some good ball. You know, Jimmy G, they wanted him to manage the game, but I've seen some games where he did more than manage. He won the game for them. He's a good quarterback, but he's not getting the props he should get because of the defense.
You can't really ask.
Everybody talks about the defense.
No, that's how it always is, though. That's how it always is, though. So, saying that and saying all that you said, so if Mahomes wins, most likely he's going to get a $200 million contract regardless, though.
One of these nuts on First Take said he was the best in all of sports, and I totally disagree with that. I'm sorry.
So you think that? So do you think that? I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay, so Shannon Sharp idea is that Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now by far. You don't think that nobody else is in his class besides Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. And he thinks that even talent-wise, Mahomes is years and years ahead.
I do think he's years ahead. I do think he's years ahead. But I truly believe if you put Russell Wilson in his position, it'll be the same thing.
So my question is,
legs,
you think so though?
Even faster legs behind the line of scrimmage.
But Mahomes is so young and he's so talented. So 5-10 years from now, will we be looking at him as a Hall of Famer? Because Tyreek Hill's there to stay. Kelsey's there to stay. They love. I believe they love him.
If he keeps winning like the way he's winning and making plays the way he's making plays, of course he's going to be a Hall of Famer, no question. But think about it. When Russell Wilson came in the league, it was like he was too short to play quarterback. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. And then what? He won like he went to the he took the team to the playoffs like 2 seasons in a row before they won the Super Bowl. And then they gave him a big contract.
That's very true too. But I'm saying, do you believe that saying Mahomes, all these weapons, all this happening, that Mahomes can handle the 49ers defense, who is just on a whole different level of vicious? Like, you know, I mean, I know Andy Reid can dial up some offensive plays, but he might not have that time in the pocket to dial up them deep balls to.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
So you think
Chiefs do a quick slant or cross a route to Hardman or Tyreek Hill, and then of course let's say you have Kelsey going on some type of streak route, going down the field. First of all, the safety and the linebacker going double teaming. Now, if you got one of those fast receivers going across the route, if they catch the ball, who's catching them? Before they get 30, 40 yards.
See, but my concern is that I believe that Mahomes looks for the deep ball. Now, I'm not sure. They may this is Super Bowl. You may come in with a whole different tactic, like maybe. But I'm saying the Chiefs' defense is good, but it's not. You know,
no, it's not.
I don't think it's good enough.
It's a regular defense. I believe it's a regular defense. I really think the 49ers are going to run holes through all those holes on the Chiefs' defense. I really believe that.
So what is okay? So I mean, would you say that Mahomes can? So you going Mahomes over 49ers?
No, I'm saying the 49ers are going to win that game. I think they're going to run. They're going to run and let Jimmy G throw when he has to. Mm-hmm. Kittle is playing. I don't know if Breida is playing. But what's that kid name? Monster? Whatever his name?
Raheem Mostert. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that kid is big and fast.
Yeah.
So if he breaks one tackle, he's gone. And then they still have the other boy. Did he come back from injury? Coleman. Tevin Coleman. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I forgot, but that's the old Atlanta Falcons running back.
Yeah.
So you going 49ers over Chiefs? Big score?
49ers over Chiefs. I think it's going to be something like 35-24.
I'm going Chiefs.
You think blowout, or you think? Because I think the thing is, it will show you nowadays whether or not offense wins games or defense. Because I don't believe that
defense don't win games anymore.
Man, Mahomes is about to. Giannis' defense is great, but Mahomes is it.
Let me tell you something. This is why the NFL has changed all these calls, leaning towards the offense, the quarterback, the receiver. Offense is what sells tickets. There's no defense in the league no more. If there was defense like they used to be able to play, we would say this would be a low-scoring game. Because those quarterbacks wouldn't get off. They'd be dialing up blitzes left and right. You can't even hit the quarterback no more. They're scared to touch him.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Because when I look at the 49ers defense, I mean, I see if Mahomes choke. Well, let's not say choke. That would be wrong. But if he were to, not come through like he needs to or anything like that, I just feel like it would be a lot of flack because then we get to the point
but pressure bust pipes. First time to the Super Bowl, he was young. We know he's going to get back there.
I mean, that's true too, but I mean, do you think that, are you under the belief that Mahomes can do it? Because I look at it like Tyreek Hill said they're unguardable. And they do have a lot of weapons, but I'm not sure whether or not...
Ain't a person in the league that can hold Tyreek Hill because not only is he fast, he's a good route runner. That's number one. Number two, he can jump. My thing is, I believe that the 49ers... See, the Chiefs, they have a decent defense. But they cannot stop the run. And when you have a three-headed monster in Breida, if he plays, Coleman and Raheem Mostert or whatever his name is, Mostert. And then you have a somewhat mobile quarterback in Garoppolo. If Garoppolo don't turn that ball over, 49ers are going to win that game.
That's what I think they did. I think he threw 6 times in the NFC Championship. I think just 6 times. Like he hasn't, you know, I guess he hasn't really done too much. But you know, I'm not gonna keep y'all up late. You know, people have really been tuning in. So I do want to end the podcast.
But
yeah.
the Chiefs can score. Like how many touchdowns they scored in 4? They scored 4 touchdowns in the third quarter or something.
Yeah. I remember they was scoring. They was down on the Texans, right?
Yeah. And
so,
they scored like 4 touchdowns in the quarter, but right before halftime or something like that. So.
Yeah, I think they've done really well. So I'm saying, with all that being said, you know, it's a lot going on. NFL Honors Saturday and NFL Super Bowl is obviously Sunday. But obviously this week, something happened that I think nobody was prepared for. In fact, when it ran across my phone, I was very much shocked about it. I think, as we all know, whether you knew Kobe Bryant, I didn't know Kobe Bryant a lot as the basketball player, but I knew him a lot off the field and as far as off the court and stuff like that. Like, he was doing a lot of good things off the court. There's a lot of different stories about who died. I think at one point it was Rick Fox, they were saying, but that was false. Somebody mic is loud.
That's Ike's. I'm not Ike's. Herbs.
Oh, okay. So he got in a helicopter crash. I think they said on the mountain. I
have the video.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't watch that.
Yeah, it's bad. I have the video. It goes, the helicopter hits the mountain and spins out of control and just goes straight down.
Wow.
Yeah. But I remember when Kobe came into the league out of high school, man, I used to love, because he wasn't a starter when he first came into the league. Phil would put him in off the bench.
Rocky, somebody commented that's a fake video.
And every time...
Oh, go ahead.
They haven't seen the video. They don't know what video I have, but it's a fake video.
Go ahead. Go ahead, I'll show your memory. If y'all can comment down there, make sure y'all say y'all memories. Because I was kind of thrown off. I don't know him a lot. I don't watch basketball. But go ahead, say your memory.
Phil would put him in the game. And every time Phil would put him in the game, he would go to the top of the key to try to cross somebody. And every time he got to the top of the key, he would cross who was holding him and make this layup. I never forget. It was playoffs. Phil put him in the game. Lakers was losing, and he went to the top of the key. And when I think they were playing the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. And he went to cross somebody, and they ripped the ball from Kobe. Phil lost his mind. Phil was jumping up and down the sideline. You know, Phil is a real calm dude. He don't get too animated. But Kobe walked over like nothing never happened, chewing his gum like Michael Jordan chews gum, and said to Phil, "I got this." You know, and this is a kid out of high school. He was always very confident and just had a love for basketball that was one of the greatest you ever wanted to see. It's sad to see him go so young.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll say for me, I've watched maybe 3 or 4 games. I was really young. I think he retired was it 5-6 years ago? I'm not overdoing it. I don't know exactly when did he retire, but I know when he retired. I know he went by the name Mamba. I don't really watch a lot of basketball, but I knew a lot about him off the field. And I think my memory of him, well, first of all, he was, everywhere he went, he kept his little daughters with him. I remember even the time when him and his wife was getting divorced and stuff like that, but then they came back together, and obviously made more kids, and they're in a good place. But I remember when knowing him or not, when I was going through my phone and it said Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, the first thing I thought about was his daughters with him. Honestly, I felt bad that he passed away, but it was more about his daughters and stuff like that. When I watched the video, I don't know if it's fake or I don't know, but when I watched the video, it made me think of his last moments, like seeing that plane. You had to be alive while that thing was going down. Like, what do you do in your last moments before the thing hit? Like, just panicking.
You don't even know what to do. You're probably just praying and
just like
trying to hold or protect your daughter.
Yep. And they said that they told the pilot that it was so foggy out there that he really shouldn't have done it anyway. But when you've been doing it for so long, obviously you're like, look, I'm good. Is he good?
But you know what?
Yeah.
If the police grounded their helicopters,
everybody should have, and that's what I said.
Exactly.
Yep. And they should have made him do it. And so I think they'll be held responsible. I'm not sure how. I don't know how that goes. But once they said it was too foggy out there, that was the reason. And it sucks. I know they was on their way to a basketball game, but they could have waited a little bit longer. To the other families that were involved, I feel so bad. And for the people on social media that's bringing up Illuminati, bringing up the rape accusation, bringing up all that, it's kind of terrible. And I really, 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 really feel bad for his wife, though, because I know he has other daughters. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 other daughters. I've seen a lot of people under LeBron James' page attacking him, blaming him, which is so childish. But put the basketball Kobe aside. He was a really, really good person. And a lot of people were crying on live and everything, and it just sucks because you never know when it's time to go. And then on top of that, sometimes we can get personal with things like that, or we let people leave the house in the morning, we're arguing and stuff like that. But I just hope that everybody that did Kobe wrong or whoever, I just hope they were able to forgive him, or vice versa. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't know him as a basketball player, but I did hear a lot of good things about him. And I think the NBA probably will change their logo, even if it's temporary, for him. And so, yeah, I definitely have to be able to at least give my condolences out to that family. That's going to be a tough funeral, because I would assume they would have to bury the Kobe and the daughter at the same time. And that's
a bitter pill to swallow for that wife.
That's going to hit hard. And I don't know what they're going to do about the other families, but I don't want people to forget about the other families just because it's Kobe and them. But I would assume that the televised event that they're probably going to have, if it's televised, I don't know. If I was them, honestly, if that was my father or somebody, it wouldn't be televised. But it's going to be a lot of things going on and going down, and I know a lot of people are really, really hurt. I know Shaquille O'Neal, I was watching him, he bust out crying. Shannon Sharp and Skip was sharing their memories and stuff like that. A lot of times I have made fun of Shazier and stuff like that. I hope people don't take it literal. I don't wish that these players die or anything like that. I was kind of thrown off a little bit, so I just hope that people, come together. But that won't bring people together, sadly. But even the while we're on it, the coronavirus that's going on right now, people just dying, like this is crazy. There's so much in this world that's going on, and so my condolences go out to Kobe Bryant and his family. Well, our condolences go out to Kobe Bryant and his family. And the other people that were involved. I think it was 9 people that died. Was it 9?
Wow. What, in helicopter?
Yeah, I think including the pilot it was 9. 9 people that died.
No, I think it's 9 plus the pilot.
Okay. So yeah, so there would be 10 people then. And like I said, everybody's reaction reading it had to be just thinking it was unreal. But Um, he's 41 years old. And that's crazy. So, besides that, that's that. I want to say thank you for tuning into the podcast. We do have a lot of good games going on. Not sure if it's down tonight, but you got Reset Joker, me at Patriots. Ron and Chris, which should be fairly good. Ben and B-Day. Phil and Jaco, which should be alright. Ike and... No, I'm sorry, he's on... GY, you on a bye already? Yikes.
Yeah, I'm on a bye.
Woo. My opponent get off at 1:30 a.m. Eastern. Yikes. How's that gonna work?
1 a.m.?
1:30 a.m. Eastern.
Wow.
That's a lot. Oh, I'm gonna have to DM Ben. That's tough. But thank you guys for tuning in the podcast.